behind the person who was fatally shot. And Ben, if you can give us an idea of what you heard, and when you heard it, what was the reaction you saw around you?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. I was in the special guest section of the event. I had the pleasure to meet the former president moments before. I I hear a pop, 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 pop. I turn around and I see this individual. I could really not see much, but I could see lower body and legs, and uh, it was not good. I've never seen somebody been shot before, and it was very rough to see. And I turn back, and the first thing I see is the president holding his fist up to the air. And I honestly didn't think he had been shot at the time. He looked fine. He looked just as strong and happy as when I first saw him. So it was truly a shocking incident and horrific.
What we couldn't see, Ben, and maybe you can give us some insight on this, because in the FBI news conference with the state police, what they were saying is that after the rally was over, there were so many bags and stuff left behind, they had to treat all of them as if there might be explosives inside. What was the reaction as you looked out into this crowd, as the bullets were fired and people realized what was going on? What was the reaction behind or in front of the former president at the crowd, Ben?
The crowd was confused. Myself, when I heard it, I know what gunshots sound like. I ducked down right away. But a lot of people thought someone had snuck fireworks in. And also, you have to take into account there was no cell service because everyone was on their phones. So that it's all rumor in the crowd. There is no actual information. So people are getting up on chairs to look and thinking that, okay, everything's fine. And then slowly people started to realize, okay, everything's not fine. And when President Trump put his fist up, everyone cheered and was very excited. But it was confusion at first. And myself, my whole goal was, I need to extract from the location, make myself the smallest target, and get out. I imagine many people, as more panic spread and as more knowledge of what actually happened spread throughout the crowd from the section that I was in, that people would abandon things that, it's your life or a bag.
Yeah, and very quickly, Ben, I know you're quite lucky as well. You were only 10, 12 feet behind the person who was shot. Did you know immediately what was happening, Ben?
I did not. So they were directly behind me. When I heard those pop, pop, pops, I was thinking something was very wrong, that some type of gunfire had gone off. But it sounded very quiet. It did not sound. Part of me was afraid somebody in the crowd maybe had pulled out a handgun or something like that. But when I turned around and I saw the individual and please, I wish only the best of health to them, and please, a great recovery to the president. But when I had turned around, then I knew something was very wrong. And I yelled shooter. And I think that a lot of people didn't realize till they looked. And right away, I have to say that the response around the president was phenomenal. I mean, they were on him in an instant. They surrounded him, and then moments after the person was shot, sort of a tactical team, men with body armor, helmets, rifles, came up into the stands and were going around. And only later would I find out that the building a short distance away, swarming with all of the tactical soldiers, was where the actual sniper was.
Ben Shrader, thank you for your time, sir. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.